Exercise 11.2. Let's do question number 6. Just look out for the question. Look out for this question number 6 in your NCERT Maths textbook in exercise 11.2. All right, children. So let just follow my instructions. So it says let ABC be a right triangle in which AB is equal to 6 centimeters. Let's make a rough figure. Let's make a rough figure. So we have a triangle ABC, right triangle ABC, right triangle at B, because it's given angle B is 90 degrees. BC is 8 centimeters and AB is 6 centimeters. All right, so the first step is to construct this right triangle. The first step is to construct this right triangle. Right triangle ABC, right angle at B, BC is equal to 8 centimeters, AB is equal to 6 centimeters. So if you construct, use this rough figure and construct the triangle, what will you do? First take up, draw this line segment BC, draw this line segment BC 8 centimeters. Then at B, construct 90 degrees, make 90 degrees at B, and then put your compass here, and with radius 6 centimeters, cut an arc. Call that point A and join AC. This will be the required triangle. Do this. Is it over? Are we ready with the triangle? Have we finished, children? Is the triangle ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So now it's give the next thing is it's given that BD is a perpendicular from B on AC. I'll repeat that. BD. So see here, this BD is a perpendicular. We know that angle B is 90 degrees. So from BD is a perpendicular from B on AC. So how do you construct BD? How do you get this line segment BD, which is perpendicular to the hypotenuse AC? I'll tell you. So take your compass, fix a pencil to your compass, keep it ready. Put your compass tip at B and take sufficient radius to, now see, this is not there. We have to locate this point D. All right, we need to locate this point D. What you have to do is take your compass, put your compass tip at B, take sufficient radius. It's not a fixed value. The radius here is not a fixed value. A sufficient radius so that you are able to draw an arc, get an arc like this on the hypotenuse. See now, if your radius is too small, the arc may be like this here. No, that means it's not sufficient. You need to cut an arc on at two different points on AC. You need to take sufficient radius and draw an arc so that it cuts AC at two different points. Do we get that? With B as center and sufficient radius, draw an arc on AC so that the arc cuts AC at two different points like this. Keep that ready. So any radius. See, with B as center and sufficient radius, if you complete this, you'll get a circle. If you complete it, you'll get a circle with center B. If you complete it, you will get a circle with center B. We are not completing it. We're just drawing an arc. That's all it is. Do it. I'll repeat what I said. Please do it first. If your radius is too small, then it will not intersect AC at two different points. See here, it may look like this. Take sufficient radius. B a center B, compass tip at B, sufficient radius. Draw an arc on AC so that it cuts AC. The arc should intersect AC at two different points. So like this. So now, children, I will complete the circle. You don't do this. So you have something in your book. Don't disturb that. So if you complete it, it's actually a circle. If you complete that arc, it's actually a circle. If you complete, we have just drawn an arc. If you complete it, it's a circle. So we have not completed. We have just taken a part of the circle, which is the arc now. So now actually what happens, this piece is a chord of the circle, correct? We have not shown the circle fully. We have just taken an arc. But now see this figure. Now here this is the circle, wherein you have shown only this arc in your book. Now, do you agree this is a chord to the circle? Now this piece becomes a chord to the circle. Now next what you have to do is, I'll tell you, we'll justify why the construction works will justify. Now what you do is, with these 2 points as centers, draw arcs on either sides of the chord. That is, construct the perpendicular bisector. Construct the perpendicular bisector of this portion. Put your compass here and here. You know this 4-arc method. Cut 2 arcs, draw 2 arcs, meaning cut 2 arcs here and 2 here, and join. And that will pass through B. Check it out. With these two, with this point and this point, with these 2 points as centers, and again sufficient radius. Draw an arc here, draw an arc here. From this point, say, draw an arc here and draw an arc here. Now from this point, cut this arc. And from the same point here, cut this arc. And join. When you join, you will see that it will pass through B. You will see it passes through B. Do it. Children, please acknowledge if you've completed till here. Please tell me.
Completed, ma'am.
Okay.
Completed, ma'am.
All right. Now maybe your teacher has told you to make only these two arcs because this will pass through the center. Maybe your teacher has told you not to make these arcs. Make only these two arcs and just join it to the center B. Maybe that's also fine. We know that it is going to pass to the center B. Center because B is the center of this arc. I mean, B is the center of this arc. Arc is a part of the circle. Circle has a center. Arc, center of the arc. Arc is a part of the circle. Okay, so now see here, you can also put your compass here and here and take these two arcs and join this to B. If you show these two extra arcs, you will be sure of your construction. So then it will pass. Join this point, just this point. You will see that these 3 points are collinear. You can connect these 3 points by the same straight line. Okay, now we know that. Now what is this? This line is perpendicular to the chord because it bisects the chord. 9th standard. 9th standard. If a line from the center bisects the chord, then it's perpendicular to the chord. See, now we have drawn the perpendicular bisector, that we know. This line is the perpendicular bisector of this chord. Now we are trying to understand how this can be the point D. We have done some construction. Now we are going to call this point D. We are going to call this point D. Now, how do we know that BD is perpendicular to AC? How do we know that BD is perpendicular to AC? That is how do we know that this angle is a right angle? Because this is the chord. This is the arc, and this is the chord. And this line segment bisects the chord. This is the bisect. This point is a bisector. Sorry, this is the midpoint of the chord. This is the bisector of this chord. And we know that this is the line from the center to the midpoint of the chord. Then it should be perpendicular to the chord. 9th standard. This is the midpoint. D is the midpoint. We'll say, I won't call it D now. This is the midpoint of this chord. This one is the midpoint of this chord. And now what do you see here? There is a line from the center to the midpoint of the chord. A line from the center to the midpoint of the chord is perpendicular to the chord. You don't have to write all this. This is the justification. So this is 90 degrees. So that means you can call it D. Now see here. So from B, we have BD, perpendicular to AC. That's what you had to do. That's what you had to do. Draw BD perpendicular to AC. So what did we do? After constructing the triangle ABC, right angled at B, what we did is, with B as center and sufficient radius, we do an arc on AC so that it cuts AC at 2 different points. If you complete this, it becomes a circle with center B. We just take an arc. We take a part of the circle. Next, we bisect. This one is now a chord. This is a chord and this is the arc. This is the chord contained in this arc. We're going to bisect this chord. We are going to bisect this. We're going to bisect this. For which, with these 2 points as centers and sufficient radius, Just make two arcs, and if you join it, you can also make, I told you can also make two arcs here. All these 3 points will be collinear. You can connect them by the same straight line. And it will pass through the center B. So we have bisected this chord. We have bisected the chord. And now, since this is the midpoint of this chord, B, this, supposing we don't know this is D, we'll just call it E. Now BE is a line segment from the center to the midpoint of the chord. Then that means it's perpendicular to the chord. So that means BE is perpendicular. BE is perpendicular to the chord. To the chord meaning it's perpendicular to AC also. So that means that is the point, that's the required point D. Okay, so this is the construction for, this is the justification for BD perpendicular to AC. This is a chord, this is the arc, and this is the chord. We find out the midpoint of the chord. By this construction, we find out the midpoint of the chord. Then, from the center, we have a line segment from the center to the midpoint of the chord. Then by the theorem, it should be perpendicular to the chord. So we get this 90 degrees here. That means BD is perpendicular to AC. So this is over. So the first thing was to draw the triangle with the given information. First thing was to draw the triangle with the given information. Next, we have to take up BD perpendicular to AC. That's also over. Excuse me, children. Okay. So now the next instruction. The next instruction, the circle through BCD is drawn. So now we have to draw a circle passing through these 3 points B, C, and D. We need to draw a circle passing through the 3 points B, C, and D. So see here, B, C, and D. We need to draw a circle passing through these 3 points B, C, and D. So children, watch carefully. Now this angle is 90 degrees. This is right angle. This is 90 degrees. All right. Now we need to draw a circle. Let me take away this so that it's more clear. Let me take away this. Okay. Now we need to draw a circle passing through BCD. Let me just, you cannot draw it like this. We need to construct. So we need to draw a circle passing through BC and D like this. Now that means in this case, BC will be the diameter because this angle is 90 degrees. See here, this is the circle passing through the points B, C, and D. All right. And now in the circle, you can see this right angle here. This is 90 degrees. That means BC should be the diameter because we know that angle in a semicircle is a right angle. We know that angle in a semicircle is a right angle. So if we have to draw a circle passing through B, C, and D like this, if we have to draw a circle passing through B, C, and D, then BC is the diameter. How do we know that BC is the diameter? Because when you draw a circle like this passing through B, C, and D, you can see this angle 90 degrees here. If this is 90 degrees, angle in a semicircle is a right angle. We know that angle in a semicircle is a right angle. Semicircle, that means who is the diameter? BC is the diameter. Because see, this is the line segment making this angle from B and from C. You can see the line segments from B and C making 90 degrees at D. From B and C, you can see this angle 90 degrees made at D is by BD and CD. To tell it very mathematically, BC subtends 90 degrees at the point D. BC subtends, makes angle 90 degrees at D. That means BC is the diameter. In a circle, only the diameter can make 90 degrees on the circumference. In a circle, only the diameter can make 90 degrees on the circumference. So it's 90 degrees. That means BC is the diameter. So now to draw a circle, what do you need? To draw a circle, what do you need? You need to know the center of the circle and you need the radius of the circle. These are the two things. You need to draw a circle passing through BC and D. Okay, I should draw a circle passing through BC and D. Which is the midpoint? Which is the center of the circle? Which is the center of the circle and what should be the radius? These are the two questions. Draw a circle. Which one should be the center of the circle? And what is the radius? Only if I get the answers to these two questions, can I draw the circle? So now we got the answers. Since BC is the diameter, the midpoint of BC will be the center of the circle. BC is the diameter. That means the midpoint of BC will be the center of the circle. So we got the center of the circle. Radius, we got the diameter itself. Then why it's not difficult to get the radius? So from the center you measure this, that will be the radius. So that means if BC is the diameter 8 centimeters, the radius is 4 centimeters. And which is the center? The midpoint of BC is the center. So now we got our answers. So now we need to find the mid. Now all this is to draw a circle passing through the points B, C, and D. So this is that before constructing that imaginary circle passing through B, C, and D in the rough work, this is that imaginary circle passing through B, C, and D. So if this has to be done, then it's going to if this is to be the final result, then and if this is 90 degrees, then BC is the diameter. If BC is the diameter, the center lies on the diameter. Now, how do we find out the center? You cannot just take your scale and mark the midpoint. You cannot do that. So you need to take B and C as centers and draw arcs. Draw arcs like this and find the center. You know that. Now, after locating the center, you can call it O. No, see here, with B and C as centers and sufficient radius, what else should I say? And join it. So this will be the center of the circle because this is the midpoint of BC. So this is O. Now with O as center and OC as radius or OB as radius, draw the circle. And that circle will pass through BC and D. That's it. What else should we do? Construct. Okay, so we have 4 things to do in this question actually. Construct tangents from A to the circle. Okay, so we have to do 4 things. First is to draw the children. Is my voice audible? Is it clear? The board is clear? Children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, children. So we have 4 instructions here. First is to draw the right triangle with the given information. Okay, that is easy for us. Then 2 is to draw BD perpendicular to AC. AC is the hypotenuse. So we have to draw BD perpendicular to AC. Okay, that was the next thing. Then after that, we have to draw a circle passing through the points B, C, and D. That's the third thing. Now, after having done all this, from A, we need to draw the tangents to the circle. And we know that from an external point, we can draw 2 tangents to the circle. A is the external. See now, to this circle, A is the external point. A lies outside the circle. Now, to this circle, A is the external point. So we know that from an external point, we can draw 2 tangents to the circle. So let me finish it. So now from A, the last instruction is from A, draw tangents to the circle. So from A, we can draw 2 tangents to the circle. We already have 1 tangent and that tangent is AB. We already have 1 tangent and that tangent is AB because A is the external point. See, this is already that side AB of the right triangle already acts as a tangent to the circle. Why? Because you can see this is the radius, OB is the radius, and this says some line, but it makes 90 degrees with it. That means it's a tangent, because we know that radius and the tangent at the point of contact are at right angles to each other. See here, I'm saying this AB is already the tangent. AB, the side of the triangle AB is already a tangent to the circle, because you can see the radius here. OB is the radius. You can see the radius. OB is the radius. And this is 90 degrees because it's a right triangle. We already had 90 degrees there. It's a right triangle. So this is 90. It's a right triangle. So this is the radius. OB is the radius. This is 90 degrees. And then we have BA. That means BA is the tangent, or AB is the tangent. So now we know that. So we already have one tangent, children. From the external point is we already have one tangent. Now we have to draw the other tangent. But we know that tangents from an external point to the circle are equal in length. You all know this. You've written so many exams at schools. You all know it. Still, you can listen to me. You're revising. So now from A, we have one tangent, AB. What was I telling you? Yeah. So from an external point, we can draw two tangents to the circle. And we know that these two tangents will be equal in length. So if AB is 6 centimeters, the other tangent also will measure 6 centimeters, the tangent segment. Tangent is a line. Tangent is a line. The tangent segment we are talking about. So this tangent segment from A measures 6 centimeters. So what should we do now? With A as center and radius 6 centimeters, cut an arc on the circle. With A as center and radius 6 centimeters, because the length of the tangents on A is 6 centimeters. So with A as center and radius 6 centimeters, now your question will be where on the circle? You cannot draw at many places on the circle. You just keep your compass at A, take radius 6 centimeters and just run your compass on the paper. It will cut at only one point. It will cut at only one point. It's not that where can I cut? You cannot cut it at different places. All of you can do it at only one particular place. So from A, 6 centimeters, you try to do it here and here. It will be outside the circle, right? So you just move your compass around like this. Somewhere here it will cut. Just, take your compass for a ride like this. Just, make one round. You will see that from here it will cut the circle at some point like this. And join. From there you join. That will be the other tangent. 6 centimeters radius. Try it, children. We'll see the construction again. Please try it.
Completed, ma'am.
Just wait for some more time. Are the others doing it? Asha Barida, if possible, take a picture of your construction and post on WhatsApp for me.
Ma'am, I don't have WhatsApp in this number, ma'am.
Oh, okay. All right. At the end of the session, all of you have to take pictures, the usual formality. Please do that. You don't have to make a PDF, just take pictures of your classwork and post on WhatsApp for me. I want to repeat the steps. I'm just waiting for you all to finish. Is it over, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Let's just see it again. So this construction of triangle, you're very familiar, so I'll not repeat this. So first, there are 4 things I told you. There are 4 things in the question. First one is to construct the triangle with the given information. We are done. Next is from B, we need to draw BD perpendicular to AC. How do we achieve this? With your compass, with B as center and sufficient radius, we're going to draw an arc so that it intersects the hypotenuse AC at 2 different points. Next, with these 2 points as centers, we're going to draw an arc here and cut the earlier arc. That is, say from here you draw this arc and from this point you cut the earlier arc. Now you can do the same thing. You can cut 2 arcs on this side also. Again, whatever your teachers told you, you can draw the arcs here also. Now when you try to join, when you join this point to this point, you will see that it will pass to the center B. Center because we drew an arc, right? The center of the arc. Now, since this is a chord and we have located the midpoint of the chord, and we can see that BD is a line segment from the center to the midpoint of the chord. That means it should be perpendicular to the chord. Hence, we have 90 degrees here. So we have achieved this construction. So BD is perpendicular to AC. Next, we had to draw a circle passing through BC and D. We had to draw a circle passing through BC and D. Now, if a circle has to pass through BC and D, since this angle BDC is a right angle, and in a circle, only the diameter can subtend 90 degrees at the circumference. So that means angle in a semicircle is a right angle. So that means BC should be the diameter. BC should be the diameter. So to draw a circle, we need 2 things. Center of the circle, radius of the circle. So we have identified the diameter of the circle. So the midpoint of the diameter will be the center of the circle. How do we get the midpoint? Perpendicular bisector. So make 2 arcs here using B and C as centers. And if you join, you will identify the center of the circle. Now you've got the center of the circle. What's the radius? So from the center, from OC or OB is the radius. So 4 centimeters will be the radius. Now with O as center and OC as radius, draw the circle and the circle will pass through OD and B or BC and D. So we do the circle. Next, we have to draw tangents from A. We have to draw tangents from A to the circle which we just drew passing through BC and D. We have to draw tangents. So we already have one tangent from A. AB is a tangent from A to the circle. B is the point of contact. This is a tangent from A to the circle at the point B. How can we say that it's a tangent? Because OB is a radius, and if this is some line, you can see that the radius makes 90 degrees with some line. Then that some line should be the tangent. And how do we know this is 90? Because it's a right triangle. We already have 90 degrees there. So from here, this is the radius. This is the radius. And the radius makes 90 degrees with some line. That means that line should be the tangent. So AB is already a tangent. AB is already a tangent from the point A to the circle. And we know that tangents from an external point to the circle are equal in length. So if AB is 6 centimeters, the length of the other tangent from A to the circle will also be 6 centimeters. The length of the other tangent from A to the circle will also be 6 centimeters. So compass, 6 centimeters radius, A as center, with A as center and 6 centimeters radius. 6 centimeters because the length of this tangent is 6 centimeters. AB is 6 centimeters. With A as center and radius 6 centimeters, cut an arc on the circle. And join from A, draw this. See, it will cross this arc and all that. That's fine. This is the tangent segment. This is maybe you can call it A, B, C, D, E. AE. So AB and AE are tangents to the circle from the external point A. And AB equals AE equals 6 centimeters.
Ma'am, I've sent the picture from a different number.
Okay, fine then. I'll have a look. Good, Arshia. I'm sure the others have also completed. You can all take a picture and send it later. Neat construction, Arshia. Very good. Okay, any questions in this construction, children? Okay. Now, a question to you all. I draw a circle. I draw a circle using some circular object. Okay. So I have drawn the circle. I have not used a compass. I have not used a compass to draw the circle. If I use a compass to get a circle, then I know the center of the circle and I also know the radius of the circle. Two things when you draw a circle with the help of a compass. You will know the position of the center of the circle and you will also know the radius of the circle. You have defined the radius, right, on your compass. You have defined the radius of the circle on your compass. So when you draw a circle using a pair of compass, you will know the center of the circle and you will also know the radius of the circle. Okay. Now this circle has been drawn using some circular object. So we don't know these two things. We do not know the center of the circle. We also do not know the radius of the circle. So this is the difference. You draw a circle with a compass, you know the center, you know the radius. You draw a circle using some circular object, you do not know the center. Where is the center? You can just guess, okay, somewhere here. But that may not be the center also. So you do not know the center of the circle, nor do you know the radius of the circle. Now tell me, children, how now I want to identify, I want to adopt a construction through which I can find out the center of the circle. What should I do?
Draw two chords to the circle and take a perpendicular bisector to them, ma'am.
Draw two chords. Okay. So I draw a chord here and I draw a chord here. Next. Next section.
Perpendicular bisector, ma'am.
Perpendicular bisector. So that means you're saying like this, right? This, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then it will be like this for me. Yeah. This is the perpendicular bisector of this chord. This one is the perpendicular bisector of this chord. Next. Asha, next.
The chords should be adjacent, I think.
The chords must be adjacent. Yeah, so you got it. So when you take, so with the help of the, okay, the center of the circle is the point of intersection of the perpendicular bisectors of any two non-parallel chords of the circle. Non-parallel chords. If the chords are parallel to each other, you cannot locate the center because their perpendicular bisectors will be coincident. Because they're perpendicular. Meaning you consider two chords but by chance they happen to be parallel. You have not intentionally taken two parallel chords. Simply you took two chords. Simply we take two chords, and they happen to be parallel, perfectly parallel to each other. So when you construct the perpendicular bisectors of these two chords, perpendicular bisectors will be coincident. One perpendicular bisector lies over the other, and hence you cannot locate the center of the circle. So it's important to consider two non-parallel chords. Okay, so see, I just took two chords. They happen to be parallel. I did not know. And so the perpendicular bisectors of the two chords are coincident. So I'm like searching where is the center. I can't make out. So what you have to do is, as Asha said, so this circle is drawn using a circular object. The circle is drawn using a circular object. So to be very safe, we take a chord like this and another chord like this. Now they are intersecting chords, no? So they can no way be parallel. Suppose you otherwise see you can take a chord like this. See, I'm saying you can take this is one chord, this is the other chord. So you're very sure that they are not parallel because they're intersecting. They intersect here. The two chords intersect here, so they're not parallel. It's not mandatory that you do this. You can also take a chord, something like this. See here, they are not parallel. It's very obvious. You can pull them down. You can pull them down, and they'll meet somewhere. You can pull them down, and they're going to meet somewhere. So you can take two chords like this, or like what I did earlier. Anything is fine. So here are two chords. So what is this? These are the steps to be followed when you have to locate the center of the circle. The circle has been drawn using a circular object. You do not know the center of the circle and you do not know the radius of the circle. So what is the construction? What is the method to be adopted to identify or to find out the center of the circle and its radius? Okay. So circle, take two non-parallel chords. Non-parallel chords. Okay, we have taken. So let's call them AB and CD. AB and CD. Construct the perpendicular bisectors of these two chords. Construct the perpendicular. Again, we just started the earlier construction. So chords. Construct the perpendicular bisectors of these two chords. So you know that 4 arcs. So with A and B as centers, these 4 arcs. With C and D as centers, these 4 arcs. And then perpendicular bisectors join them, and the point of intersection. This is the center of the circle. And once you know the center, you can easily find the radius. From the center to any point of the circumference will be the radius. From the center to any point of the circumference will be the radius. So the point of intersection, the center of the circle, when we do not know the center of the circle, the point of intersection of what? Of the perpendicular bisectors of any two non-parallel chords. The center of the circle is the point of intersection. Is the point of intersection of what? Of the perpendicular bisectors. Point of intersection of the perpendicular bisectors. Of perpendicular bisectors of whom? Of any two non-parallel chords of the circle. Remember this. So the point of intersection is the center of the circle is the point of intersection of the perpendicular bisectors of any two non-parallel chords of the circle. So that's how we find the center of the circle. Okay. Now let's practice how to divide a line segment in a specific ratio using both the ideas, using the concept of BPT. Let's practice how to divide a line segment in a specific ratio using the concept of BPT, basic proportionality theorem or the Thales theorem, and by using the concept of similar triangles. Now I want you to do this construction using the concept of similar triangles. So you need to draw a line segment AB, say 10 centimeters, and ratio. I hope this is clear, no? Ratio, say 3:2.
Ma'am, I have
So,
doubt.
Yes, Shahid.
Ma'am, for
Doubt
finding
with respect to
center
this
of
construction
no, no,
or the
ma'am.
earlier one?
Earlier one, ma'am. Finding center of the
Okay.
circle, ma'am. Ma'am.
No, come again.
Ma'am, for finding the center of circle, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, as one girl told, ma'am, by drawing two parallel chords, ma'am. Ma'am, can we draw two parallel chords on one side and another side, ma'am? There are four chords, ma'am. Ma'am, also.
4 chords, I didn't say. I was talking only about two. Why should you take so much? Yeah. Then they will intersect the diameters, then you will make out the center. Yeah.
That can
But
be
how
like
will you make sure they are parallel?
Ma'am?
How will you make sure that the chords you've taken are parallel?
Okay, ma'am.
No, you're correct. Yeah, you're right. You're saying two parallel chords. You're saying two pairs. One pair of parallel chords, another pair of parallel chords. They're perpendicular bisectors. They make a plus, and you can identify the center. Perfect. Yeah. But we'll not spend so much time. You're right. It will work. That way also will work, Shahid.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, children, now let's take up a line segment AB equal to 10 centimeters and divide this line segment AB internally. We have only internal division. There's also something called external division, dividing a line segment externally in a particular ratio. We don't have external division, we have only internal division. So the line segment AB 10 centimeters, divide this line segment AB in the ratio internally in the ratio 3:2 using the concept of similar triangles. Do it. Do it, and if you finish, take a picture and send it on WhatsApp for me right away. Try. I want only using the concept of similar triangles, not BPT. Did all of us understand how to locate the center of the circle correctly? I don't know if I repeated that. I'll just do it again. Circle. No, I don't remember if I repeated it. I said circle, chord, another chord. These are two non-parallel. They're not parallel, non-parallel chords. How will you construct the perpendicular bisector of AB, chord AB? How will we construct the perpendicular bisector of AB with A and B as centers and radius more than half of AB? Radius more than half of AB with A and B as centers and radius more than half of AB. So from A, we'll draw one arc here and an arc here above AB with A as center, sufficient radius, draw an arc above AB and below AB. Then with the same radius, with B as center and the same radius, we cut the earlier arcs. We cut the earlier arcs. With A and B as centers and sufficient radius, with A as center, an arc here, with B as center and the same radius, we cut the earlier arcs and we join. This is the perpendicular bisector of AB. We do the same thing for CD. We find the perpendicular, we construct the perpendicular bisector of CD. How? With C and D as centers and sufficient radius. Sufficient is more than half of CD. With C and D as centers. Radius more than half of CD. So put your composite C. Draw an arc above CD and below CD. This is CD. Center C. Sufficient radius. Draw an arc above CD and below CD. Now with the same radius, with D as center and the same radius, cut the earlier arcs. Cut the earlier arcs. With D as center, cut the earlier arcs. And join. This is the perpendicular bisector of CD. This is the perpendicular bisector of AB. Where they meet is the center O. Yes, has anyone finished constructing some, bisecting the line segment? Arshia, you have constructed, I just saw your picture on WhatsApp. You have constructed using the concept of BPT. I specified to do this construction using the concept of similar triangles. Please do that. All right. Okay, let's do it together. So this is using the concept of similar triangles, using similar triangles. All right. So first, draw the line segment AB. AB, 10 centimeters. If you're doing it with me, just start over again. If you're doing it with me, if you're doing it together now, please start over again. Draw line segment AB equals 10 centimeters. So in your book, make sure that you have sufficient place below AB and above AB. Now, supposing if you draw this line segment AB at the bottom of your page, then you cannot construct. Make sure that there is space below the line segment AB and above the line segment AB. Because you have to do something below and above AB. This line segment AB, Must be drawn somewhere in the middle of the page so that you have space below and above AB. It's fast, children. Next, just use your scale. Use your scale. Draw ray AX, making an acute angle with AB. Just use your scale. Simply place your scale below the line segment and draw this ray AX so that it makes an acute angle with AB. Simply using the scale. Scale pencil, that's all. Use your scale, pencil, and draw this ray AX. What is important is the ray AX makes an acute angle with the line segment AB. This angle is an acute angle. This angle is an acute angle. We have not used a compass, children, just a scale and pencil. Line segment AB 10 centimeters. Scale pencil. Put your scale like this and draw this ray AX such that this angle BAX is an acute angle. So that angle BAX is an acute angle. That is, the ray AX makes an acute angle with the line segment AB. Okay. Now next what we are going to do is, we are going to copy, we are going to duplicate an angle. We have an angle with us. So you can see there's an angle made here. There's an angle formed here. We are going to duplicate that angle. We are going to bring this angle at B. Using a construction, you cannot measure it with your protractor and do it. You cannot measure it. So what we're going to do next is, we're going to duplicate this angle. We have, see, an angle is formed here. Angle BAX is formed. There's only one angle formed at this point. BAX. We have angle BAX here. We are going to duplicate this angle. We are not going to measure it with the protractor. So whatever is the measure of the angle here, we are going to bring it at B. At B. Now how do we do that? I'll repeat it. I'll do it once. I'll repeat it. Now take your compass. Compass. Keep it ready. Put it at A. Put your compass tip at A. Put your compass tip at A. And put your compass tip at A. And just little radius, There's nothing like sufficient radius here. Maybe a radius of about 3 centimeters. With A as center. And some little radius. Draw an arc. It should intersect AB and AX. Draw an arc so that it intersects AB and AX. Yes, Shahid?
Ma'am, your video is not visible, ma'am.
Oh.
Now it's clear, ma'am.
Okay. I'll wait. I said compass, little radius. Compass, take a little radius on your compass. Put your compass tip at A and draw an arc so that it intersects AB and AX like this. Now don't disturb the compass. Have the same radius. Don't disturb your compass. If you change the radius, you cannot get it. Now with A as center and some radius, you've drawn this arc. Don't disturb that radius. Bring the compass with the same radius to B. Put your compass tip at B and draw an arc again here. Put your don't disturb this radius. With A as center and some radius, you got this arc. With the same radius, put your compass tip here and draw an arc like this. It should intersect. Now there are no lines, right? There's only one line. So you should draw this arc so that it intersects the line segment AB, somewhere like this. Don't change the radius. With B as center, and the same radius, draw an arc. So you shouldn't draw the arc like this and leave it. You should not draw an arc like this and leave. The arc should intersect the line segment AB. The arc should intersect the line segment AB. The arc should intersect the line segment AB. Okay, so we are now here. Now go back to this one. Go back. See, we're copying this angle here, right? We're trying to copy this angle here. So, okay, now you have to change the radius. Now, for this arc and this arc, we use the same radius. Now you have to change it. Now what you do is, you measure how wide the angle is. That is, you can change the radius on your compass, put your compass tip here and your pencil tip here, and get how much the angle measures. That is, how wide is the angle at this point. Put your compass tip here and your pencil tip here and measure this. Or you can change the positions. You can put your compass tip here and the pencil tip here and measure the radius and get that radius on your compass. You can see these 2 points. These 2 points. At one point, put your compass tip. On the other point, pencil tip, and get the radius on your compass. Get that radius on your compass. This will differ. 2 of you need not get the same radius on the compass. This may differ. So now you have the radius on your compass. You have defined this one on your compass. All right. Next, bring your compass to this point. Put your compass tip. Don't disturb that radius. Put your compass tip at this point. Put your compass tip at this point and cut an arc over this arc. See, when you say draw an arc, you're drawing a new arc. Cut meaning there is an arc existing, you're cutting it. So this, when you draw when you do this, it's draw an arc. When you do this, it's cutting the arc, cutting an existing arc. So with this radius, measure this radius, put your compass tip here, and cut this arc. Now, I'm going to have to change this. Now, join these 2 points. Join these 2 points and get that other ray. Let it be BY. Join these 2 points and get this ray BY. Join these 2 points and get the ray BY. Now you can use your protractor and check. This angle BAX will be equal to angle ABY. This is how you duplicate an angle. This is how you copy an angle without using the protractor. Now you can check using the protractor. This angle, the magnitude of this angle and the magnitude of this angle will be the same. Children, please ask me to repeat. Don't disappoint me at the end of the class. There are only 10 of us in the meeting. I want all the 10 of you. To take pictures of today's classwork and share it with me on WhatsApp immediately after the class. So if something is not clear, please tell me, I'll repeat it. So what we did here is, with A as center and any radius, we drew this arc so that it intersects AB and AX at these 2 points. Now we didn't disturb that radius. We brought the same radius to this point B. We put the compass tip at B and we drew an arc. That arc should intersect AB. Finished. Now again, come back here. Use the compass. and measure the mouth of the angle. This one. This is called the mouth of the angle. Measure the mouth of the angle. You can put your compass tip, pencil tip anywhere. One here and one here. Measure it. Measure it. Now don't disturb that radius. Put your compass tip here. Put your compass tip here and cut the earlier. There was already an arc. So cut that arc. Cut that arc. First we drew this arc from B. From B we drew the arc. Now from here we are cutting the arc. Now we have defined two. There's this point B. There is this point, new point. Connect these 2 points and get the ray BY. Get the ray BY. Okay. So now I said if you use a protractor and check, the measure of these 2 angles will be the same. If this is 38 degrees, this also will be 38 degrees. It should be. Okay. Now see the ratio. 3:2. 3:2 is the ratio. See, so far we did not even see the ratio. We only took up the line segment AB, which measures 10 centimeters. Now do this preparation. After after taking the line segment AB is equal to 10 centimeters, you need to get this ray AX and BY. And you know that these 2 angles are equal. That is, angle BAX is equal to angle ABY. Now the ratio is 3:2. Compass, don't take very large radius, then this ray will not be sufficient for you. So now with so you have to cut 3 parts on this ray and 2 parts on this. You cannot do it the other way down. Then it will become 2:3 ratio. Then it will become a 2:3 ratio. So see here. Now when the ratio is 3:2, you must make with AS. Now take a small radius on your compass. On the ray AX, you need to get 3 points, A1, A2, and A3. Okay, so on this ray AX, you need to get 3 points, A1, A2, A3, such that AA1 is equal to A1, A2 is equal to A1, A3. How do we achieve this? Compass, center A, any radius, draw an arc here, and that point is A1. With A1 as center, arc. Don't change the radius. Don't change the radius. With A1 as center, cut an arc. That is A2. With A2 as center, arc. That is A3. So that means AA1 is equal to A1, A2 is equal to A1, A3. With so what is this? On the ray AX, we need to locate 3 points. On the ray AX, we need to locate 3 points such that AA1 is equal to A1, A2 is equal to A1, A2, A3. So how do we do that? Compass at A, any radius, just draw an arc. That point is A1. Now don't change the radius. Put your compass on A1, draw an arc. That is A2. And now put your compass on A2, same radius, cut an arc. And that is A3. So we have 3 arcs here because the ratio is 3:2. So 1, 2, 3. A1, A2, A3. We need to make 5 arcs with the same radius. Don't disturb the radius. Don't change the radius. Okay, so whatever you had taken up earlier, whatever radius was here, now cut 2 arcs here with B as center. On the ray BY, you should locate 2 points, B1 and B2. On the ray BY, we need to locate 2 points, B1 and B2. Why only 2 points? Because 3:2. 3 points on AX, 2 points on BY. Ratio is 3:2. We need to locate 3 points on the ray AX and 2 points on the ray BY. The 3 points are called A1, A2, A3, and the other 2 points B1 and B2. Radius should be the same. That is AA1 is equal to A1, A2 is equal to A2, A3 is equal to B1 is equal to B1, B2. So with B as center in the same radius, and then this is B1 with B1 as center in same radius, B2. I hope you understood. All these 5 arcs with the same radius. Do it.
Ma'am,
Yes, Shahid?
ma'am, in school, ma'am, they taught in a different way, ma'am.
That is BPT, using BPT.
Ma'am,
We'll do that also.
Removed from the portions, ma'am.
Sorry?
They said that this was removed from the portion syllabus, ma'am.
No,
ma'am, in online
I
class,
find
we taught only
I
one thing,
find
ma'am.
questions based on this in the model paper. So just to answer those questions, it's safe to know this. Ready, children? Shall I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So see, there is nothing like now we already have an arc here, right? You can take any radius. It's not that this arc should be before. See, some of you may have this A1 before this arc. Some of you may have this arc A1, arc at A1 before this arc also. That's okay. I told you any radius. With A as center, with A as center and any radius, draw an arc. That's the point A1. Don't disturb the radius. You should use the same radius for all these 5 arcs. With A as center and some radius, draw this arc at A1. Now with A1 as center, same radius, draw an arc, that's A2. With A2 as center, same radius, draw an arc on AX at A3. So 3 arcs here for this 3. Now 2 on BY. You cannot exchange that. You cannot make 3 here and 2 here. Now 2 arcs here, same radius. Same radius. With B as center in the same radius, arc B1. With B1 as center, same radius, B2. Now join A3. Now join. Now for me, I will not get 3:2. It will not look like that. Let me just modify it. Okay, so join A3, B2. Join A3, B2. Join A3, B2. When you join A3, B2, it intersects AB at a point, call it C. Now C divides AB in the ratio 3:2. C divides AB in the ratio 3:2. C divides, when you join A3B2, it intersects AB at C. So C divides AB in the ratio 3:2. If you measure this, it will be 6 centimeters, and this will be 4 centimeters. So how does this construction work? How does this construction work? Now, tell me, are these two triangles similar? We have two pairs, so we can make out at least two pairs of equal angles. In fact, we can show that all the three angles are equal. Now see here, this angle is equal to this angle. Vertically opposite angles are equal. Then by construction, this angle is equal to this angle. That is BAX is equal to ABY. ABY. Construction, we constructed the same angle here. Vertically opposite angles are equal. And then we constructed the same angle here. Double A similarity, the two triangles are similar. So how do you call them? Triangle CAA3. Similar to, if you say CAA3, you must say CBB2. CB and B2. See the triangles. Name the triangles. CAA3, not X. The triangle. See here, this is the triangle. CAA3 is a triangle. And the other triangle is CBB2, not Y. Y is a point on the ray. So, these are the two triangles. We have matched their corresponding angles. See, vertically opposite angles are equal. The angle at A is equal to the angle at B. Then A3 and B2. So when triangles are similar, their corresponding sides are proportional. When triangles are similar, their corresponding sides are proportional. How do we know that how do we get this? Because we know vertically opposite angles are equal. And by construction, this angle is equal to this angle. So these two triangles are similar. And in similar triangles, corresponding sides are proportional. So what do we have? CA by CB. CA by CB. CA is this one. CA by CB is equal to CA by CB is equal to AA3. AA3 by BB2. AA3 by BB2. But how much is AA3 by BB2? How much is this? AA3 is 3 parts. 1, 2, 3 parts. And BB2, 1, 2 parts. Children, because we use the same radius. No? So 1, 2, 3 parts. AA3. 3 parts. And here it is 1, 2 parts. Same radius we have taken. So the ratio is 3:2. AA3, from A to A3, it is 3 parts. From B to B to 2 parts, because with the same radius we cut these arcs. So 3 and 2. So this one we know because we constructed using the same radius, we made all these 5 arcs. So we know that AA3 is 3 parts, and BB2 is 2 parts, 3 by 2. So this one is 3 by 2. Then, therefore, CA by CB will also, because they're equal, these two ratios are equal. So CA by CB is also 3 by 2. That is CA by CB is also 3 by 2. Ratio 3 by 2. CA by CB, that is CA is to CB, is 3:2. This is how we construct using the concept of similar triangles. Construction of similar triangles is deleted from the syllabus. Given a triangle and constructing a triangle similar to the given triangle is deleted. But when I was just going through the question banks, I saw a few questions based on this. 1 mark questions. So I just thought I'll tell you. So you can answer this question now. See here, children. Now you can answer this. Okay. Now tell me the ratio.
7:3, ma'am.
Tell me the
7:3,
ratio
ma'am.
in which. Tell me the ratio in which P divides AB. What is the ratio in which P divides AB?
7:3, ma'am.
Yeah, so because
7 is
7:3, because 1, 2, because A7, still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts here. 1, 2, 3 parts here. First, you must say this, then this, not 3:7. So, since we have 7 parts here and 3 parts here, that is P divides AP in the ratio 7:3. 7:3. Yeah, so questions like this I saw in the paper in objective, so I thought I'll just tell you this alone. This is the justification. If you have not written down this justification, at least take a screenshot, take a picture so that you can work it later. Remember this. So we'll do this quickly. So first, AB 10 centimeters. AB 10 centimeters. Then this ray AX, acute angle 3. No, before that we need to construct the same angle here. I'm in a hurry, so I'm going off to 3 now. So whatever is the angle here, we need to construct it here. So first, compass tip here, any radius like this, an arc. Same radius, compass tip here, any radius, arc. With the same radius, put your compass tip here, same radius, arc. Now you can change. Come back here, measure the mouth of the angle. Measure the mouth of the angle. You get something, no? Go here, put your compass here, and cut the arc. Cut the earlier arc. Now when you through B and this point, when you draw a line, this is that required ray BY. This is that required ray BY, such that angle BAX is equal to angle ABY. Now this angle is equal to this angle. You can measure with your protractor and check. Now we need to get 3 points on AX and 2 points on BY. So you know that. So now you can change the radius. The first arc which you draw can come before this arc or after this arc. That's okay. So with A as center and some radius, A1, A2, A3. 3 points here. Same radius, B1, B2. Now join this. Join A3 to B2. Now this line segment. So if you call this point P, now P divides AB in the ratio 3:2. All right. Now, okay, let's take up the third one in the exercise, 11.2. Question number 3. Question number 3. We'll complete this and wind up the session for today. We'll finish this. So, draw a circle of radius 3 centimeters. Draw a circle. So, compass, radius 3 centimeters. Draw a circle of radius 3 centimeters. Okay, drew. Center O. It's okay if it's not exactly 3. We just learn how to construct. Maybe you can do 3 later. So radius 3 centimeters, draw a circle. I hope we're ready. Take 2 points P and Q on one of its extended diameter. So you need to take these 2 points P and Q on one of its extended diameter, each at a distance of 7 centimeters from the center. So take 2 points P and Q on one of its extended diameter, each at a distance of 7 centimeters from the center. That means it should be on either side. Both of them cannot be on the same side. Because if both of them should be on the same side, it will be the same point, P and Q. So see here, this is the diameter, children. Please look at the board. This is the diameter. Extended diameter. Extended diameter. We need to take 2 points P and Q on the extended diameter. So diameter, extended diameter. P and Q. Now the question is where P and Q should be on the same side or opposite sides? P and Q should be at a distance of 7 centimeters from the center. They should be at a distance of 7 centimeters from the center. So if you take them on this side, 7 centimeters from the center, then that will be P and Q. You cannot get a different point for Q. That means you'll have to take P and Q on the opposite sides. So this you have to just, you can use a scale and mark, or you can take 7 centimeters, put your compass here like this P.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you please say which question, ma'am?
Oh yeah. Question number 3. Exercise 11.2, question number 3.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So it's understood that the points P and Q are on the opposite sides of the extended diameter. The points P and Q are on the opposite sides of the extended diameter. Okay. So circle, radius 3 centimeters, diameter, extended diameter, compass, 7 centimeter radius. Put the center, meaning put the compass tip at this point. Put the compass tip at this point, 7 centimeter arc P. Now same 7 centimeter with O as center and radius 7 centimeters arc Q. So see, the radius is already 3. From here it's 3. So this will be 4. Because totally it is 7. The radius is already 3. So this will be 4 centimeters. Here also the radius is 3. So this one will be 4 centimeters. Okay, so we have taken the points P and Q on the extended diameter so that they are at a distance of the points P and Q are at a distance of 7 centimeters from the center. So I said you can take 7 centimeters radius on your compass. Put your compass tip at O, and on the left side, you can draw an arc, call it P. Same radius, draw an arc on this side, 7 centimeters. On this side, call it Q. 7 centimeters is the distance of the points P and Q from the center. From center, it should be from center, that is OP should be 7 centimeters, OQ should be 7 centimeters. Next word. Draw tangents to the circle from these 2 points P and Q. Okay, so from the point P, we know that from an external point, we can draw 2 tangents to the circle. So from the point P, you need to draw the 2 radii. Sorry. From the point P, we need to draw the 2 tangents. And from the point Q also, we need to draw the 2 tangents. So in all 4 tangents. 2 tangents from P, 2 tangents from Q. Okay, so now how do we draw? How do we draw tangents from an external point to the circle? Children, I'm repeating all the instructions given. So first, we have to draw a circle of radius 3 centimeters. That is simple. Then you need to choose a radius, choose a diameter and extend it both ways. Okay, extend it. Now on this extended diameter, you need to locate points P and Q. Not anywhere. From O to P, 7 centimeters. From O to Q, 7 centimeters. Okay, located. Now from P and Q are external points to the circle. P and Q don't lie on the circle. They are external points to the circle. So from P, we can draw two tangents. And from Q also, you can draw two tangents. That's what we have to do. We have to construct the tangents from the points P and Q to the circle. So how do we construct tangents? So again, you know it. So now take up this line segment OP. Now first we are going to draw the two tangents from P to the circle, from P to the circle. Then we'll draw the two tangents from Q to the circle. You can do anything first. You can draw from Q first and then P, anything first. So say we draw from P first. What you should do is OP. P is the external point, O is the center. Bisect OP. Construct the perpendicular bisector of OP. Always this is what we do. That line segment from the center to the external point, OP. O is the center, P is the external point. O is the center, P is the external point. OP is the line segment joining the center and the external point. Construct the perpendicular bisector of that one. Construct the perpendicular bisector of this one. So that means with O and P as centers, should draw arcs like this and get this. Do it. So I said with O and P as centers and radius more than half of OP. So from O, you should draw an arc here and an arc here. From P, same radius, you should cut the earlier arcs. O and P are the centers. From O, two arcs. From P, cut the earlier arcs. So this will be the perpendicular bisector of the line segment OP. Center, external point. Now, supposing you call this something like A, okay, there's no A here, so we'll call it A. Now with A as center and AP or AO as radius, with A as center and AP or AO as radius, you should draw a circle. See, this is like a diameter now. Now this becomes a diameter because this is the center of the circle you're saying. So this OP becomes a diameter. With A as center and AO or AP as radius, we need to draw a circle. So that circle will, sorry, it looks like an oval, excuse me. So this is what you have to do. With A as center, with A as center and AO or AP as radius, you need to draw a circle. Do it. With A as center, just take my instructions. With A as center and AO as radius. Or AP as radius. Draw a circle. That circle will pass through O and P. That circle will pass through O and P. Finished. We got the tangent. That's all. I'll tell you the justification why the construction works. Now, I hope you got the circle. Now, these are the 2 points to be marked. These are the 2 points. Now, if I call this C and D, join PC, join PD. Join PC and PD. PC and PD are the required tangents to this circle with center O and radius 3 centimeters. We'll see why the construction works. Now so this circle cuts the circle at these 2 points C and D. Join PD, join PC. These are the 2 required tangents to the circle. Repeat the same thing here. Repeat the same thing here. OQ. We should always construct the perpendicular bisector of the line segment joining the center and that external point. To draw 2 tangents from an external point, we should always first construct the perpendicular bisector of that line segment joining the center and the external point. Center is O. External point is Q. OQ is a line segment which should be bisected. OQ is a line segment which has to be bisected. Earlier it was OP. We constructed the perpendicular bisector of OP and then we drew the circle. We got these 2 points, PC, PD are the tangents. Do the same thing here with O and Q as centers. With O and Q as centers and sufficient radius, that is more than half of OQ as radius. From O, arc above and below. From Q, cut the earlier arcs. Centers, see, what you should know is which are the centers. You should put your composite O, you should put your composite Q. Radius, more than half of OQ. Whenever we have to cut arcs, you only need answers to these 2 questions. Centers and radii. You'll have to put your composite O and Q. Radius more than half of OQ. So from O, arc. From Q, same radius, cut the earlier arcs. Now you can call this B. Now with B a center, after constructing the perpendicular bisector of the line segment joining the center and the external point. Now B is the midpoint of OQ. B is now the midpoint of OQ. Now with B as center and BQ or BO as radius, they'll be the same. But for me, I'm getting it very weird. Let's do it again. Okay, so now with B as center and BO or BQ as radius, draw a circle with B as center and take radius BO. Draw a circle. That circle will pass through O and Q. That circle will pass through O and Q. With B as center and BO or BQ as radius, draw a circle. Now see, you can see that the new circle intersects with the original circle, the given circle at E and F. Mark the points carefully, E and F. The new circle intersects the original circle at the points E and F. Now join QE and QF. So QE and QF are the required tangents to the circle from the external point Q. So here we constructed tangents to the circle from 2 different points. If it was only one, see, now supposing you have a circle and you have to take a point. So this is a circle. Say you have to take a point A 10 centimeters away from the circle. Supposing we have to take this point A 10 centimeters away from the circle. So OA is 10 centimeters. Now from A we have to draw 2 tangents to the circle. From A we have to draw 2 tangents to the circle. OA is 10 centimeters. So that's easy. Just use a scale 10 centimeters and get the point A. And see, it need not be, it can be, A can be anywhere like this, you know. See, you can take OA like this also. You can take OA like that also. Just for the sake of convenience, we make a line like this. You can take OA like this also. But why do all this circus, right? Why all this circus? So we'll just do it like this. So circle, center O, OA is 10 centimeters. OA is 10 centimeters. Now, this is the procedure. Construct the perpendicular bisector of OA. Construct the perpendicular bisector of OA. Sorry, I know I'm taking more of your time. Construct the perpendicular bisector of OA. You know this, how to do this. Now, if you can call this point, say P. Call this point P. Now with P as center and PO or PA as radius, with P as center or P as radius, the circle will pass through these 2 points. Draw a circle. Now this new circle intersects the given circle at these 2 points. So say we'll call it B and C. The 2 circles intersect. The 2 circles intersect. One is, this is the original circle. This is the new circle. This is the original circle. This is the new circle. See, they're intersecting circles. These are the 2 points of intersection. Mark them. Now join. This is the external point. You wanted to draw tangents from A. Join AB and join AC. So AB and AC are the required tangents to the given circle. Here we did for 2. Here from points P and Q we drew tangents. If it is only from the point, if it is only from one external point, you will have a construction like this. And using this, I'll tell you why this construction works. Using this, I'll tell you why this construction works. Now, if you join OB, 3 minutes, we'll wind up. If you join OB, what is OB? OB is the radius of the given circle. OB is the radius of the given circle. All right. OB is the radius of the given circle. Now, what is this one? What is this? This one? This is the diameter. This is the diameter. This is the diameter of the new circle. It's a diameter. Please understand. This is the diameter of the new circle. Now, see here. This is the diameter of the new circle. Now, can you see here? This one, this line from O, this line from A. Angle in a semicircle is a right angle. Angle in a semicircle is a right angle. Let's see it like this. See here, circle, diameter. From the end of the diameter, if you have a line segment like this and a line segment like this, this is 90 degrees. Circle, circle, diameter, ends of the diameter. Anywhere you just pull it like this and pull this like this. This is 90 degrees. See the same thing here. See the same thing here. See the circle. See the circle. And see the diameter OA. From A, from O. Then this is 90 degrees. See that one circle, that new circle, diameter. From this end A, from the end of the diameter, from this end and from this end. From the ends of the diameter, you can see OB and AB. New circle, AO is the diameter, from O, OB, from A, AB. So then this angle is 90 degrees. Angle in the semicircle is a right angle. So this is 90 degrees. Now, OB is the radius of the small circle and it makes 90 degrees with some line segment. Then that line segment should be the tangent. Now see it with respect to the small circle. Now in the small circle, OB is the radius and this radius is making 90 degrees with something called BA. OB is the radius which is making 90 degrees with some line segment BA. Then that BA should be the tangent to the circle. Then BA should be the tangent to the circle. That's how this construction works. That's how this construction works. So mostly this will be asked. So for those who are not familiar with the construction, I just want to do it fast again. Circle, circle, center of the circle. Say this is some 12 centimeters away from the center. Perpendicular bisector of OA. Perpendicular bisector of OA. With O and A as centers, we should draw these arcs and get the perpendicular bisector of OA. Now let's call this point P. Now with P as center and PA or PO as radius, you should draw a circle. That circle will pass through O and A. Now this small circle, the given circle and the new circle, they are intersecting circles. They intersect at these 2 points. Now from the external point A, you should join this and you must join this. Now these are the 2 tangents from the external point A to the circle. The construction works because in this big circle, this is the diameter, and from the ends of the diameter O, there's a line. From A, there's a line. So this should be 90 degrees. From the ends of the diameter, this one and this one, they make 90 degrees. Angle in a semicircle is a right angle. So now with respect to the small circle, this is the radius, and the radius is making 90 degrees with this line segment. Then this line segment has to be the tangent to the circle. Same thing here. All right, I'm so happy that all 10 of you have stayed back till the end of the meeting. Thank you so much, children. I hope it was useful. So next we will be meeting on Saturday or Sunday, and the time will not be this time in the evening because I have the regular 10th standard batch for this academic year. So it may be sometime in the morning. I don't want to say anything now because I'm not sure. So maybe in the morning from 7 to 9, something like that. Kindly cooperate. We'll discuss the answers. With that discussion, we'll again learn new things maybe. Or if you already know them, we'll be registering them more firmly in our memory. So don't miss that session. And by then, complete your complete working the mock exam paper so that you can, each one of us can actively participate in the meeting. So I'm telling you, the next meet will be on Saturday or Sunday, sometime in the morning, mostly in the morning, from this time, like maybe 6:30 to 8:30 or 7 to 9. All right. Okay, so you can just check WhatsApp around Friday this week for the updates. Thank you so much, children. Don't forget to send your pictures. Good night. Yes, Shahid.
Ma'am.
Yeah, the others can leave the meeting. Thank you, children.
Next week Monday exam, ma'am. Social exam, ma'am.
When next? When?
Ma'am, on 5th, ma'am.
How many times will you study for social studies, Shahid? We finished? No.
No, ma'am.
You study? Huh?
No, ma'am. No. Nothing, ma'am.
No, that's why I said early morning. That also won't work, huh?
Okay, ma'am. I will see, ma'am.
Don't say okay and miss the class.
Ma'am, okay, ma'am. I will attend class.
Yeah, you can study now. I'm not giving you any homework. No, you study now.
Okay, ma'am.
Or we'll have it still early from 5 to 7 in the morning. Okay, you will attend.
Yes, ma'am.
This also you have to practice. Yeah, Shahid. Thank you so much. Good night, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Ashia. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Darshini. Thank you,
Thank you,
Srivatsan.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, children. Good night.